guys, Besa Gordon here. Right now we have Dr. Sidney Nelson back with us all the way out there in DC, which I still have to go visit, but we digress. We'll get there one of these days. First and foremost, welcome back.
Hey, how we doing? Thanks for having me back. It's always awesome, always great. It's a wonderful
Of
opportunity.
of course. And just like I said, you guys got some good sunlight going on. We got some good sunlight going on over here.
We all good. Everybody's good. We bi-coastal with the sun right now, so that's good.
I know that's right. Now, last time we talked, you let me know that you are a bulldog.
Yes. Any dogs
Okay.
in the house? Yeah.
So before we get into the technicalities of today's topic, which is
Yeah.
sleep and its relation to health,
Yeah.
I want to give you some time to talk about your bulldog experience real quick and also see some pictures of what you missed from their 100-year anniversary.
Oh, that's awesome. I get to show off some of my bulldog pride. So Garfield High School, where I went to in Seattle, in the CD, had its centennial celebration this past weekend. It brought out a lot of people, a lot of alum. It was an awesome event. As you know, Quincy Jones is actually a past Garfield High School student. He gave like a special speech. It's on the internet. You can check that out. But it's a good time to bring a lot of people together. A lot of classes came together. Actually, was the class of 92's 30-year celebration, so it kind of coincided at the same time. I think it's a good way to show that there are strong schools, public schools in the cities. Garfield High School is a public school. I think I feel like I got a good education out of it. I know a lot of my friends did, and so it's just awesome to see the celebration and see the new people coming through, the newbies, and just that culmination of just happiness and joy centered around this iconic school in Seattle. It's great. I mean, you know what I did today? I said, listen, I'm gonna put on my old school sneaks. I'm gonna put my
Hey!
sneaks on for this to represent. Remember, I was in sophomore year. These came out, so purple and white. That's our colors, and it was just good to see everybody happy and smiling. So I appreciate you showing some photos there.
Of course, of course. Shout out to our photographer Jordan for pulling up and going down there and getting those photos from us. Me, I didn't go to Garfield. I wanted to, but my dad said no. Father, I am blaming you for this every chance I get because my heart was set on Garfield. Grew up in the CD, so that's where I was supposed to go. My dad was like,
Yeah,
no.
I don't want to rub it in. You kind of missed on a great experience, but that's okay though.
I did, but honestly, I'm not gonna sit here and play my experience. I ended up going to Cleveland High School, so I was Gucci.
Oh, I'm not mad at all. Some good friends in Cleveland, so
So real quick, Doc.
yeah,
Sleep. Okay. You have things like sleep apnea. Is that how
right,
you say it? Sleep apnea?
yeah, that's correct.
You have things like for me, I know that I'm constantly on the move. I'm constantly like lately, I've done more traveling than I've ever actually done. So getting my sleep patterns back on has been absolutely wild, which kind of makes me just feel groggy throughout the day, or my motor skills are a little bit off. Things aren't really clicking. Sometimes I'll see something and I feel like I'm a little bit more irritable than I need to be. And
Right,
I'm like,
right.
child, I just need a nap. This coffee is not giving what it needs to
Yeah,
give.
I take that moment.
For me, I feel like sometimes I wonder what else I can be affecting in my life, whether it be health-wise or if it really just is like a whole mental situation for me when I'm not getting this proper sleep. Like, for example, today I went to sleep at like 4 in the morning and woke up at
Ooh,
9.
ooh, shame
And
on
here
you.
we are.
Shame on you.
I guzzled down a whole thing of coffee and bolted out the door. And
Yeah,
I've been doing that a lot lately, so I don't know if I'm, like, doing anything disrespectful to my body doing all of this, but yeah, give us the tea on not
so this
getting enough
this is
sleep.
good. I mean, you gave me a good example. I can use you for the example, right?
Yes.
So no, we've definitely done some studies. It's interesting. The realm of sleep, there's a lot of theories, right? Because we truly haven't just nailed certain things about sleep. But we have found that sleep is related to several health illnesses, actually. So it's very important to get your sleep. Now, with the American Academy of Sleep Medicine, what they've proven is that you need to get about over 7 hours of sleep, really. Um,
Snap.
Anything under 5 is actually sleep deprivation. So you want to get about over 7 hours of sleep. Now, what we found is when you're not getting sleep and when you're having what we call insomnia or you're having sleep deprivation, there's some problems that can come with that. One is hypertension. We've shown that hypertension is related to not sleeping. So you want to make sure that you're getting sleep to prevent yourself from being at risk for hypertension or high blood pressure. Now, interesting enough, there's some theories as to why you need to sleep, right? So we're like, so why do I need to sleep? Why do I get hypertension if I don't sleep? So there's a couple of theories out there. There's this restorative theory, which is saying that while you're sleeping, what you're doing is your cells are restoring themselves. You're cleaning out toxins. You're getting rid of stuff from the day that needs to get rid of so that you can function the next day. So that's kind of the restorative theory behind it. There's
Mhm.
also out here a theory of plasticity, and it just means that when you're sleeping, your brain has a chance to kind of just make everything concrete that you experience through the day. So your memories and thoughts and stuff like that, that's when you do that when you're sleeping. You just make them concrete. So there's a couple theories out there. Some people say it's one of these things, if you believe in evolution, we evolved out of because at nighttime, if you were running around in the dark, there's a lot of things that could harm you. So
Mhm.
you'd be more susceptible to predators and calamities if you're walking around or wandering around at night. So it was a time for us to kind of sleep, chill, and be ready for the daytime. We can see things and see danger.
So
Um,
is that kind of like how, say I break my ankle, which I've done,
yeah,
and when you go to sleep, your ankle is throbbing from using it all day, and then when you wake up in the morning, that's usually the smallest that it is during the day.
yeah, it's that restorative quality, so that when you're laying down, your body's not, the blood flow is slower, and so your swelling's coming down. There's not as much edema in that foot, and so it's that restorative quality. It's allowing your body to heal. Now, mind you, just think how much longer you would have to heal if you spent the next 3 4 days just on a binge, non-sleep stretch. That swelling
Mm.
would be there. You probably cause more damage.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
There's also another thing that's been related to sleep too, or lack of sleep. We've also found that for men that there's decreased testosterone levels from lack of sleep, especially for people that have problems going to sleep. Those first 3 hours are crucial to that. So there are studies that relate to that. Also, obesity. It's been found that if you don't sleep, you're at risk for obesity. This one's a little more theoretical, but the theory behind it is that there's hormones that are released that you're messing the regulation of, and so by not sleeping, those hormones go off, and you have an increased wanting to eat during the daytime. And you're not just wanting to eat, you're also trying to get high calorie foods. And so yeah, you're setting yourself up for obesity. So that's another thing connected to it. And so what did we say? We said we have obesity, we have hypertension. So there's also been studies showing that there's a four times risk of having an MI, which is a heart attack, from sleep deprivation. So
You
yeah.
know what? That still makes a lot of sense because at that point, your stress level is a little bit different. Like, I was
Mhm.
watching a video and this lady was saying that, when you don't get sleep, you just think that you're not getting sleep. But in reality, sometimes you might read a message from a friend that's like, and you're like, hey, you want to hang out? And then
Yeah,
the friend is like, no, I'm a little busy. I wish I could. And then you might take it personal
yeah,
because you can't properly process what's going on. When
right.
in reality, it's like, no, I really just have like five other things to do right about
Yeah.
now.
Very simple. It's your interpretation. I can tell you personally, going through residency and coming out of that, and then when I first started practicing medicine, I practiced as a hospitalist or a hospital doctor. And so what we had is every 6 weeks we do a shift where we're doing night shifts. And so for 7 days straight, I go in at 7 p.m. and stay until 7 a.m., come home. And I'm one of those people, if the sun's out, I need to be doing things. So it was very
Yeah.
hard for me to sleep during the day. And so I would probably get 3 or 4 days, 4 hours of sleep. And I literally returned into this mini demon by the end of the week because I just wasn't getting that sleep. It changed my mood. It changed my whole aspect on things. And I'm a nice guy, I think, but I would completely alter. And it was just this lack of sleep. It would just change me.
Wow. Do you have any, like, recommendations for people that feel like they don't know how to go to sleep after a long day? Like, for me, say, if I'm, like, up until 2 in the morning because I've been, like, editing all day,
Right.
and I'm still, like, mentally stimulated, and then all of a sudden, I can't, like, lay down and rest for 2 hours. Do you have, like, at least 3 quick tips to give people to relax and actually get that sleep?
Yes, yes, definitely. Especially with this era just of Instagram, social media, working hard at night, at home. Sleep deprivation and just lack of sleep is, technology is kind of added to it. And so what we need to do is reduce our screen time. That is so key and so important for people to reduce your screen time. That means that you have to, before you go to sleep, Give yourself at least an hour where you're not looking at your computer, you're not looking at your phone, you're not scrolling through Instagram, seeing if you missed anything, where you are just devoid of that screen at least 1 hour before you go to sleep. Also, don't eat late. Eating late can also kind of disrupt your sleep cycle. And then thirdly, just making sure that you're not doing any heavy exercise or anything right before you go to sleep. You want to have a break in time before, high physical activity, so you can give yourself a chance to kind of wind down. So those would be the big three.
Meanwhile, when I was going to the gym faithfully, which I have to start doing because I've gained a lot of weight, I would have the tendency to go to the gym at night.
Yeah.
And I would just feel like it was easier for me to focus on what I was doing. But I'm not gonna lie, I would go home, I'd cook, and
Yeah.
then I'm
You got
like
all
up
that
for
energy now.
hours.
Yeah. Yeah, you move around. And, the thing is let's be real, right? Adulting. I'm really big on adulting and just managing that. Adulting is hard. Sometimes late at night's the only time you have to work out, right?
Yeah.
But you also have to realize that that's going to affect your sleep. So you just really got to just kind of work it out and do what's best for you. But we definitely know that lack of sleep is going to cause illness and issues. So you just want to be more aware and more cognizant of that.
All right, that is a mental note. And for everyone that gets mad at me when I wake up at 11 o'clock, I'm supposed to wake up at 11 o'clock if I went to sleep at 4 a.m.
Yeah, you need your 7 hours. You need your 7 hours minimum.
Dr. Nelson said I need my 7 hours. I don't want to hear it.
Doctor's order. You can tell them doctor's order. Put it on me.
They really judge me. I'm like, dude, I went to bed at like 4 a.m. What do you expect? Like, I gotta rejuvenate.
Yeah, you need to listen. You need to regroup. You need to restore. They even say for even teenagers, man, they even need more time. They say teenagers usually need about 12 hours of sleep. So sleep is good. It's just figuring out where to get that time. You figure that out. Let me know.
Wow. Okay. Well, I want to thank you again for coming in, Dr. Nelson. Of course, you'll be back with us. I want to say, well, obviously, this is going to air this upcoming week. So, week after next.
Yes, yes,
Probably for us, we're recording this on a Friday, but this will
yes.
be airing to everyone else on Tuesday. So, until you come back, make sure that everyone knows where to find you at on social media.
Yes, you can find me. I'm on Instagram at Around the Way Doc. I'm sorry, Around the Way Doc. Sorry. You can find me on Instagram. You can also find me on Twitter. Check me out, the Around the Way Doc.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Nelson. And of course, you guys, until next time, you already know what I always say. Keep that energy high and also make sure you take a nap if you need to.